So we'll continue our discussion of principles of format and presentation. So let's discuss principle 7 and 8, which is about time on task and deep processing, right? Let's first discuss principle 7 and see its implications for an effective language curriculum design or language teaching, right? Time on task, as it's been coded, as much time as possible should be spent using and focusing on the second language. This principle, as you know, has been derived from Nation and McAllister's book, Language Curriculum Design. So it lays emphasis on, the role of the target language. Target language here means English language, for example, if it's taught to Urdu-speaking students, right? So the whole point here is that we as language teachers should be aware of the effect of teacher talk, the use of target language in the classroom. If too much time is spent in translating and, code switching, that might interfere with the learning process, and that might, give a wrong notion to the students about English as a means of communication, right? So time on task, the use of the target language is important at all levels. In the beginning level and in the elementary or intermediate level. So this is how we need to maintain while formatting language program or teaching a language program. Okay, so for instance, I've got example of while starting at the very basic level, a language teacher might tell her students how to greet and welcome other people. So the language teacher here could equip students with some lexical devices which are functional. Saying hello, how are you doing, and okay, see you later, for example. So these are some lexical items which could be introduced. So the whole point is here is, for example, these items should be taught in the target language instead of, relying too much on grammar translation. Okay. And this will help create conducive environment of learning, and this will impart, a sense of importance to the students in seeing target language as a means of communication rather an object of study itself. Okay, so let's see what's principle 8 about. Okay, learners should process the items to be learned as deeply and as thoughtfully as possible. So it's about, developing depth of processing. Including language items which could be processed at deep level, not at superficial level. What this principle implies is that, the whole point here is how a language course could give element of mental activity to the students, how to train them, how to prepare them for an effective language learning, right? I would like to here illustrate this point here with an example. For example, if you want to teach the word allow, so it's better not to tell its exact meaning to the students. Rather, it's better, it might be more useful to put it in a functional way and let the students derive its meaning from its use. For example, instead of giving direct meaning of the word allow. We could use it in a sentence. So I will not allow my children to eat dirty things. So this way we can help students create a system of language learning. So these principles 7 and 8 is time on task, and how to lay emphasis on language learning. And these principles actually highlight how teachers can be trained to grade the syllabus in a way which is helpful and which is appropriate for language learning.